Hello, location-based actions are part of many applications. In this video, we shall understand how to create a location-based application using Java Spring Boot. Let's first see some use cases from our daily life. So you visit a big city and are looking for a suitable parking space in your favorite app. How can you know what are the nearby parking areas which are available? Or you are looking for a eating place in your proximity. Let's see how this can be achieved using Java Spring Boot and MongoDB. Little bit of geography lesson first. The Earth and other celestial bodies are marked by latitude and longitude to know the exact geographic location. Latitude is a coordinate that specifies the north-south position of a point on the surface of Earth. Latitude is given as an angle that ranges from -90 at the South Pole to 90° at the North Pole with 0° at equator. So as we can see here it is -degree in the South Pole, it is positive 90° at the North Pole and 0° at the equator. And it's noteworthy that equator divides the Earth into two equal hemispheres. Longitude is a geographical coordinate that specifies the east-west position of a point on Earth's surface. It is measured in degrees with the reference point being prime meridian. The prime meridian is a line that runs from North Pole to the South Pole, passing through the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London. Longitude is given as an angular measurement with 0° at prime meridian, ranging -180° westward to +180° eastward. So prime meridian is where we say it is 0°, and as we move east from prime meridian 15, 30, 45, 60, it increases till 180. So similarly, if we go towards the west side from the prime meridian, it will become -15, -30, -45, -60, and it extends till -180. Now GeoJSON is the format which we are going to use in our programming exercise, and GeoJSON is a format which is for encoding geospatial data, and it uses a simple and lightweight structure which is based on JSON. JSON is JavaScript object notation. So you can see here, this is an example of GeoJSON. The important thing to note here is the geometry thing, and it has a type. I'll explain what exactly the type means, and the coordinates. It is important to note that the coordinates have longitude first and latitude next. So these are the different type examples which we have. A point would have only longitude and latitude, that's indicated here. Line, string, a line can be denoted by different points, and the polygon. Important thing to note is that the start point and the end point of the polygon should be same, so it is an enclosed polygon, otherwise it will become a line string. Now MongoDB has all these geospatial capabilities where you can use geo-intersect to find if a point or a polygon intersects with another one, geo within to know whether the geospatial data exists entirely within a given shape, or near to specify whether a point is near to a given point or not, and it returns the documents from nearest to the farthest location. Now before we start coding the example, let's have a very quick refresher of Spring Boot. So the Spring Boot is helpful in creating REST-based services. So REST-based services would be consumed by client-side applications, which is indicated here. A variety of client-side applications can consume the REST-based services. The controller is the first component within the Spring Boot which will receive the request. It will pass the request to the services, which would apply some kind of business logic. Services would also be talking to database using some repositories, and they would be getting the data from database, and whatever has been fetched from DB would go along this path, and finally it will be returned to the client-side application. Now I'm going to create a new Spring Boot application with the help of Spring Initializer. I would be selecting a Maven. Rest all settings I'll keep as is, and instead of calling it a demo, let's say Now I'll add the dependencies. The first thing I need is Spring Web, Mongo, and Lombok. I'll generate it. Post generation, it would be downloading this file on my local machine. Let me open this in IntelliJ. You can use any editor of your choice. The application has been created now. Now let's go, and first thing which we will do is we will create our database. Let me open the MongoDB and I'll create the database first. So I am in the MongoDB console. What I'll do is I'll click here and create a new database. Let me call it. So I have created the database now. What I'll do is I'll add some data here. So you can see here it is a GeoJSON. We have the type as point and coordinates as the coordinates of Statue of Liberty. I'll insert it. Then I'm going to insert this another location, which is Mysore Palace in India. And the third one is also a place, beautiful place from India, Taj Mahal. So post the insertion, the very important step is to create an index. So I'll create the index from here. We can create it from command line also, but let me show it from here so it is easy to notice. So on the location, I want to create a 2D sphere index. So let me create that. So the index has been created now. So DB is ready. Let's go and see how we have to code this. So the first thing which I'll do is I will update my resources to have the DB name and to have the details of my local MongoDB installation. Now let me create a new class. First I will create a package. And we had seen in our database what kind of fields we had added. So what I'll do is I will quickly add those fields here, and I will do a copy paste so that we are able to do it very quickly. So let's see this. Locations is the name of our collection which we just created. Inside the collection we have ID, we have place, we have a message, and we have a location. So these are the things. Let me quickly show you the JSON also so it will resonate. So this is the thing which we have placed. So we have a place, we have a message, we have a location, and ID is generated for the primary key in the MongoDB. So this is also there. So we have created this entity now. Now what we'll do is we will create a repository. So let me create a repository here. And this is going to be an interface, and I'll call it location repository. And let me import this so that all the dependencies are cleared. So we can see here that we have a function which is find location near, find by location near. So this is what is going to give us the location to a nearby point. We will see this in action in a bit. Now I'm going to create a service. So let me create a package called service first, and inside that let me create a class. See, I'm not taking cognizance of the different naming conventions, so don't bother about that. It's a quick thing which I want to do. Let me import the things mandated here. So now we have a location service also. This is where we would write our business logic. There is not much business logic. What we are doing here is we are getting the latitude and longitude, And as I said, we have to have longitude first when we deal with GeoJSON. So that's where this point, when we create, we have to fetch the longitude first and then the latitude. And we are getting this nearby location with the help of MongoDB, wherein we are using this in the repository. So find by location near is defined in the repository. Now the last piece of the puzzle is to define the controller. I'll again paste the sample thing here and we'll go through this. So the controller, like we discussed, is the first entry point. So what we are doing here is we are defining a get mapping, get locations, and get locations. What are the parameters which we are feeding? We are feeding the latitude, longitude, and the distance. So these parameters which we are feeding here. And finally, we are fetching these details from the via the service from the repository. And all these things are auto wired. So the IOC inversion of control and dependency injection will automatically inject these dependencies. Let me execute it now. So there is a mistake which I have done, thereby this problem is coming. So whenever this kind of problem comes, you have to notice that this thing should be in the same package. So anything which you want to inject in your Spring Boot application should be within the same package. So good that we noticed here. So if in case this problem comes to you, you can also rectify it. I'll just move it here. Now you can see everything is, even this one is inside the proper package. Earlier it was not inside the proper package, this location service. So now it has moved to the proper package. I'm assuming this problem will not come. Let's see. Good. So this is another problem, but this we can rectify. So it says some other thing is running on port 8080. I'll just quickly close, check and close. So this is good. So we are seeing that it is running. Let me open Postman and show you. So I have placed this from this, and what I'm giving is a very big kilometer distance which I'm giving here. I'll reduce this distance in a bit, but let us see one thing. So first of all, I'll make it a positive. The moment I make it positive longitude, what it means is that we are going towards the east of the Greenwich, and India is on the east of the Greenwich. So possibly so you can see that it has come in the order where the Indian place is first and the US place is last, like descending order, because like I said earlier, from nearest to the farthest is what it returns. Okay, so now what I'll do is, so from this point, what is the nearest? From this point, Taj Mahal is the nearest. The moment I make it minus, it will return the Statue of Liberty as the nearest. So we can see Statue of Liberty is getting returned first. So within 5,000 kilometers, only Statue of Liberty is returned, because only that is within 5,000 kilometers. And if I make it as a positive, so we have these two places in India which are within 5,000 kilometers. What I'll do is I'll try to place this sample in the GitHub also. Hope you like it. Thank you very much.